I'm about to change your life, and I don't think you quite understand that this video will be the one that will have a big impact on you. So, for those individuals that don't know who I am, my name is Junaid. I've been running this Meninfluencer YouTube channel for over 7 years now, and this video isn't like any of my typical videos. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably noticed, for those that actually watch my videos on the regular or used to, that I haven't really been uploading that much. And then now suddenly you see me here and you're like, damn, this brother has leveled up, you know? Like, and I can't, like, I have truly leveled up and it's a blessing. But part of me, like, I've had this itching feeling for like months. There's something in me that is keep on telling me I have to upload a video to help you guys out. Because it just comes from this innate feeling when I was 13 years old, 14 years old, and I wanted to become this 1% man. Nowadays, I'm probably way higher than that, but let's just keep it for the sake of this video, call it this quote unquote 1% man. I've always wanted to be this high value man, and sometimes when I look at my journey and sometimes when I'm like thinking, it's just astonishing to think that I've actually done it, you know? I have become a 1% man. I have become the person that I always wanted to be. And it's crazy to think that I've been able to achieve this. But I'm so glad and grateful that I've been continually uploading on YouTube for years. And I've constantly talked about every single thing on YouTube for years. And now it finally happened. And that's why in this video, I want to talk about on how to be a high value man, especially in the modern day. Because what I've noticed is the world is rigged. Like, it's truly rigged. But then on the other side, I've also noticed that a lot of people don't do themselves any justice. I always see people complaining about how everything's against them. Everything is difficult. They're always so negative. They're never grateful. They don't want to put in the work, yet they expect to get a 10 out of 10 baddie, Instagram model, or even like a very good woman. But then you just look at them and you're like, brother, who the fuck are you? What kind of value do you have to offer to this particular woman? And the same goes with a lot of other things. People want the best of the best things in life. They want to be able to be the one that gets all of the respect, want other men to look up to them, but they don't do anything that will give them the respect that they're seeking. And that's why I actually want to speak about all of this. And for those individuals that are watching this video, I don't think you understand who I am. And I don't mean this to brag or like act in such an egotistical way, but because that's what a lot of these quote unquote haters, people that are negative, will say, right? But it's the truth. If you want to be exceptional, if you want to become a high value man, you have to be this very, very confident individual, because this world is rigged against you. Nobody deserves to be a quote unquote 1% man by birth. Whilst there's a lot of women that end up being very pretty just by the way they're born. They're blessed, you know. But with us men, that's not the case at all. You're not born into becoming a 1% man. You have to build yourself into a 1% man. And just to give you a little background about myself, it's not like I come from a rich family. It's not like I was the most attractive individual out there. It's not like I was very sociable, very confident. Heck, I used to be the complete opposite. I'll just have a picture on the screen right now just to show you how I used to look like. In high school, people used to call me a gaming nerd. In primary school, I used to get bullied. I was grown up in one of the worst areas in the Netherlands called Schilderswijk, and somehow I've turned into this individual that is currently in Cyprus. It's like a Monday. I'm probably gonna go out in a little bit, not because there's much to do. It's November, but like I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, and that's the type of person I've always wanted to be. I wanted to become someone that can travel the world whenever he wants, can take care of his friends and family, and just enjoy life and live life on his own terms. To me, that's what a high value man is. But at the same time, those are not the only traits that makes a high value man. That's more the component of the lifestyle of a high value man. And in this video, I want to talk about how you can become a high value man. There'll be three things I want to talk about, and these three things will change your life. So the first thing I want to talk about is your belief. A lot of people say fake it till you make it. And I used to say that for a long period of time as well. But there's nothing to fake about wanting to make it. Because I've always had this core belief within me that's gonna happen. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but someday it's gonna happen. And if you have that belief, how is it fake it till you make it? It's not. Like a lot of times you hear people say this, but truly if you fake it till you make it, you don't believe in yourself. I've always believed in myself, because if I don't believe in myself, who will believe in me? Even when I used to look like this gaming nerd, I used to tell to people that I'll become the best looking motherfucker out there. I used to say that I'll become someone that will turn heads everywhere I go. I used to say that I'll become very successful. I'll live my dream life. I'll be able to get like the best of the best women, high quality women, and then obviously I can choose the one I like. That's always been my goal. And I remember this was in high school in the Netherlands when I was 15 years old. I used to say, yeah, next summer, watch me. I'll have a six pack. I'll look better, because I used to wear these glasses, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll look a lot better, and I'll come with contact lenses. It used to be a big deal to me personally, and I'll be the best looking guy out there. Didn't happen, but it didn't stop me from believing in me. Like, if I don't believe in me, no one will believe in me, and that's step number one. These days, I feel like a lot of guys have life too easy. It's too easy for you. You grew up in this generation where you don't have to do anything to live a okay life. All you do is play video games and waste your time, whilst your ancestors have worked so hard for you to be in this position. To me, it doesn't make sense, you know. So that's definitely number one. If you are someone that wants to be a high value man, it's all about the ambition. Like, a lot of times you see people that are very ambitious still do really well with having friends, having girls all around them, having respect. Because step number one is believing in yourself. If you can believe it, it will happen. I don't know how to explain it. I've always had this feeling. Even when I wasn't the best looking guy out there, I knew I would become good looking. Don't ask me how, it's just this innate feeling, this desire. When you're so hungry for so long, nothing can stop you. And that's number one. If you want to be a high value man, a 1% man, you need to believe in yourself, because it all starts within your mind. You have to manifest it. I used to look at myself in the mirror, and I used to tell myself I'm the best looking guy out there. I used to look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I like this part about me. I like that part about me. That boosts my confidence up. And it made me feel better about myself, because I know like this might be a little bit of girl talk, you know, like, oh, self-love, self-care. But it's the reality. How many of you guys truly love yourself? I'm sure a lot of you guys think, yeah, I'm alright, I'm okay. But, excuse me, but how many do like actually love themselves? I know that a lot of times I see guys that are insecure, they don't love themselves, but for some reason they don't want to admit to it. It's like this ego, this male ego. And these women don't have this ego, you know? They don't have this ego. Whilst with us men, we always have this ego that stops us. So let's just be honest, no one's watching, it's just you and me. Like, do you actually love yourself? Be honest. If you don't, I'm here for you. I'm the brother here to help you out. It all starts with that belief. You have to tell yourself that it's worth it. You need to think that you deserve more in life. If you don't have this hunger, I can't help you. And I know a lot of people that watch these self-improvement videos, watch them just to feel better. That's why all of these big YouTube channels have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of views. Yet, if you truly think about it, a lot of these guys that watch it are still losers. Like, they only watch it because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel like, yeah, I'm proving myself. Oh, I watched something, now I'm smarter. But they're not taking any action. And that's actually going to be the next step. And it's not going to be this basic tip of take action. I'll actually explain what I mean by taking action. But just to come back to the self-love part, you need to fix yourself up. You need to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that it's worth it. I am that guy. I'm going to improve myself no matter what. I'm going to be the individual that'll turn heads everywhere I go. Every person that used to doubt me will soon realize that they made a big mistake. Not because I care about the opinion, but because I'll become such an amazing person that they just cannot believe I've done this. It's quite interesting because a lot of times I get messages from people, some people might not directly say it, but you can definitely tell the way they've changed their tone. They respect you a lot more just because of who you are, because the world is rigged. I like to think people want to be romantic. I like to think people actually care about personalities. But we live in this shallow world where they only care about you if you've got some of status, if you've got something to provide. Especially as men, if you're a little bit good looking. And I'll actually come back to the good looking part because like, I'll make a completely separate video about like looks maxing, how it actually is beneficial, but then how the youth is doomed and ruined because of this. I'll make a video about it in the future, so definitely subscribe to be notified about that video. But yeah, so moving on to the second thing in terms of becoming a high value person is this. Not taking action, at least obviously, yeah, take action, but in a different way. Let me actually take a little sip. All right, so with taking action, I'm just gonna tell you how I've done it. I worked so hard to become a somebody. That's the type of action you need to take. Because this will fit in perfectly with number 3. And number 3 is a game changer. Once you reach number 3 and you've cleared it, your life will never be the same. But number 2 is you have to do whatever it takes to become a somebody. For me to become a somebody was improving my looks, making YouTube videos, gaining a little bit of subscribers, a couple of followers, helps with my status, right? Improving my social skills. When I was young, I was very shy. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't really know how to speak. Funny enough, my older brother used to think I was autistic. I don't think I am. But obviously, like a lot of kids, when they're younger, they have these autistic tendencies. And once they grow older, it goes away, right? But yeah, this is so important. You have to do whatever it takes to become a somebody. You have to improve yourself, work day in, day out, go to the gym, improve your hair, anything you can do to improve yourself. And obviously now I'm talking more about my looks part because this is what helped me so much become who I am. Because I made a YouTube channel talking about looks and helping men become better. And my whole story is about improving myself. So this works for me. Doesn't mean that it will necessarily be the biggest key indicator for you. But you still have to become a somebody. You still have to gain respect in some way. Perhaps it's going to the gym. perhaps is becoming very good at a specific sport, specific subject, like even excelling at like a specific hobby that you have. That helps you to become a somebody in that group, in that social circle. And this helps you with the next step. And the next step has really changed my life. But before I actually talk about the next step, I do want to like reiterate about the part of improving yourself in the way of like looks help you a lot these days. Like we're living in this society where looks do matter. You see it all of the time, it matters. You've got some people that say, yeah, it doesn't matter. But the reality is it does matter. The only issue is, and this is what I'm going to talk more about in my looks maxing video, whether it's worth it or not, because I've obviously done it, and I'll talk about the drawbacks and the benefits of it. But let me quickly explain this with the best scenario I can just find out of my head. So like it wasn't a few weeks away. Last week, my family was over here. Like I flew them over from the UK to Cyprus just to give them a good time. And I come from a big family of 6. My youngest brother, he's 13. He's a teenage boy right now. And we went to this ride in Luna Park. It's like this attraction park where they've got these rides. We were sitting there. He was sitting next to me. And it's not weird for girls to look at me, especially like decent looking girls. So even he saw that they were looking at me. And he's like, yeah, those girls are looking at you. Obviously, me being the older brother, I'm like, yeah, of course, it's normal, you know? Like, you have to play a little bit cool. And then, this is the funny thing. Because his TikTok For You page is full of these looks maxing videos. Which is good, you know? It's one of those things that makes them improve themselves. But it's also one of those things that makes guys very conscious and insecure these days, I'm sure. Stuff that female have felt for like decades. Now guys are feeling this as well. And in terms of the ride, what happened is I told them, yeah, they're looking at me because I've looks maxed. You're still on your looks maxing journey. And honestly, this is funny. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because he's the first generation where guys are so focused on looks. Obviously, in our generation, like we've become more wary, become more stylish, this and that. But it's almost like their generation only cares about looks. The guys only care about looks. They're acting like women. And that's the issue with a lot of guys these days. They're becoming very feminine. They're basically being spoiled. And I'm not talking about my brother, he's a G. But basically, we've gone to a point where the younger generation thinks looks is everything, but they are going to get a big reality check because evolution doesn't work that way. Just because girls do like about looks, it's not everything. It's more about respect, status, and power. Like, these younger guys don't understand that part. All they are focused on is improving their looks. But they'll get a big reality check as they get older and realize that looks is not everything. Because I've been through this myself. I used to think looks was everything. Oh yeah, obviously we find looks important in girls, right? So it must be the other way around. Until I became good looking and I still didn't get any results. This is the reality. And this is why I'm talking about becoming a somebody. And I'm not talking about improving your looks. Just because you're good looking doesn't mean that much. If I see someone that's good looking, but he has no social skills, he's still a loser, he has nothing going on in his life, he has no ambition, he's just a good looking loser. That's why I just wanted to reiterate this point. Although I'm talking about like improving yourself in terms of looks, it's not only about looks, it's about the ambition, it's about the drive. Look back at step number 1. You have to believe it. You need to have this mindset, the ambitious mindset, and then add on top of it. You start from the base. You're ambitious. You're this ambitious nobody. You've got nothing to offer. You're like maybe a loser. Like, I don't want to be rude to you, you know, like I used to be one. Or was I? Now I deep down I knew I was a G, you know. Even when I used to hang out with the nerds in high school, Deep down, I didn't want to hang out with them. I knew I could get more out of life. And I know it's not nice to speak about old friends, old classmates like that, but I'm just speaking of the facts on how to become a high value man. Anyways, so yeah, you have the ambition, step number one. Step number two is you have to become a somebody. Looks helps, getting a better body helps, improving your social skill helps, becoming good at something helps, building your status up helps. Because this helps with step number one, and this is truly where you're gonna change your life. This is what I've been doing for the last year, and I've taken way longer than I should have taken. At least this is what my mentor told me. He told me, Junaid, you should have been successful, you should have been rich, you should have gone more out of life, you could have been even more successful, you could have been in front of like model pages, this and that, all of that stuff. But one thing you've slacked on is your networking. I always focused on step number one and step number two, but I didn't know step number three existed. Networking, or at least I didn't understand the power of it. But does this mean you need to instantly start networking? Not really. Because if you're a nobody, no one cares about you, if you've got nothing to offer, why would someone significant speak to you? They don't really care about you. You're a waste of their time. And that's why you need to become a somebody before you start networking. If you are a somebody in your field, and even though you might not make a lot of money, you might not be that special, people look for talent. If they see you're somebody, it shows them you're not lazy, at least you've got some potential. And that's where they are willing to invest in you. And this has truly changed it for me. This is how I became a high value man, a 1%er. Matter of fact, I would say a lot higher right now. Because just if you're doing well monetarily, you're already in the 1%. Imagine also being good looking makes you even more special. Being able to approach anyone at any time makes you even more special. Being ambitious makes you even more special. Being highly intelligent makes you even more special. I hope you understand where I'm going. Because the reason I'm saying all of this, I might sound fucking arrogant. I might sound fucking confident. But the reason I am like this is because I have to be. No one's gonna come and save my ass. You're not gonna come and save me. I'm not gonna come and save you. You have to do it yourself. And I know there will be people watching this and say, yeah, you're so arrogant. You're too full of yourself. You're too vain. But when I see someone being full of themselves, vain in the manner that I am, I respect them more. I'm like, I know he has something. I know that he has potential. Because you don't believe in yourself in such a manner if you don't want more in life. You can't fake it. When people say fake it till you make it, and they don't make it, it's because they faked it. I truly believe in myself. I believe that I deserve more in life. I've always had this feeling. I've always wanted more in life. And here we are right now. 24 years old. I started my journey when I was 13, 14 years old. Started my YouTube when I was 17 years old. When I moved with my family to a new country. I was born in the Netherlands and I moved to the UK and I took the leap of faith to start my YouTube channel. And even back then I had more of a Dutch accent. I still have it, but like it was a bit different. But in general, this just is the reason I made this video for you. I want to show you guys, whilst there's all of these people out there online, they're trying to sell you a lot of stuff you probably, it's beneficial, I'm sure it's beneficial, but it's more extra stuff. These 3 steps are the core steps you need to take to become a high value man yourself. I've done it. I'm not charging you anything. I don't want anything from you. I just want to see more amazing guys being made. When I see someone that comes from nothing, works so hard, takes care of their friends and family, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good hearing from you guys telling me how these videos have helped you out. That's why I do it. Because I remember when I was 14, 13 years old, I had no clue where to look. I wish I had a role model like myself. That's why I do it. And I grew up in the Netherlands, in like, especially when I was in my teenage years, I was the only brown guy there. Not that it really matters. Everyone was super cool and super nice, you know. But then deep down, you always still feel a bit out of place. I was the only Muslim brown guy in my class. And it's an interesting concept to think about. Maybe that's the reason why I wanted it more. But there's definitely something inside. There's a fire, something about you that you want to get more out of life. I'm sure those few people that are like myself completely understand what I'm saying. And to become this 1%er, it's not an easy journey. A lot of times these days, a lot of men, they just want to be spoon-fed. They think everything is going to be handed to them. But the reality is, this world is rigged, brother. Everything is rigged against you. Dating apps are rigged against you. The financial system is quite rigged against you. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of things happen in closed doors, far, far away from you guys. Big conversations happen in interesting places that you'll never be a part of because you're a nobody. And that's why the somebodies that are listening, or at least the people that want to become a somebody to then expand their network, are the ones that will become the 1%. Because no one will let you be a part of the network if you're a nobody. And that's the truth, that's the reality. Part of me sometimes thinks I'm lucky in some regards, but then if you work every day, day in, day out, and you have this core belief, you're bound to have a lucky day. And I also believe everything happens for a reason. There's probably a reason why you're watching this video. It's not like I force you to watch it and you're still listening to me till the end. And yeah, like, it's amazing. Because I do really appreciate you guys listening and taking my advice into account. Because this is literally the start of your journey. I don't think you understand what kind of information I've given to you. You might think, okay, yeah, this sounds quite basic. I've heard this before. Baby, take an action. There's too much noise all around YouTube, on social media, on TikTok, everywhere. And you'd rather listen to another video than listen to someone that has no malicious intent. I have no reason to speak to you like this. I have no reason to give you this information. Yet he's still doing it for your benefit. For your benefit. There's too much noise out there. Fuck all of the noise. Don't listen to any of it. Focus on these 3 things, and I promise you, it's not going to be particularly easy in the sense of like, yeah, it will happen overnight. Of course not. It took me years and among years. It took me like a decade to even get close to where I am today. But then I didn't have the privileges of knowledge that you guys have. So just focus on this. Have ambition. Then once you've got the ambition, tell yourself you're amazing. Have this self-love, self-talk. Because it starts from within. You need to create this internal fire. You need to manifest the stuff you want out of life. Second thing is, you have to become a somebody. I don't care what it takes. You have to become a somebody. You have to work day in, day out to become a somebody until you are someone that people respect. Once you get to that level, now it's time to speak to other individuals, because this will truly change your life. At least it has for me. And I've spoken to a lot of other individuals that have gone through a similar path, and they've all said this. So I hope this video has opened your mind. And for those individuals that used to watch my YouTube videos, I hope you like this new type of content, because I really do. I think it's fucking amazing. I wish someone like myself was making videos like this. So yeah, if you are new, definitely subscribe. Be a part of this journey, because I'm here for you. I have no selfish intent, at least not right now. But yeah, I'll see you on the